Yeah, I think now you can start.
Okay, so as all of you heard, our general overview here of the Theodore in Kensington and the beautiful rendering that we have here. So Greywood, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with out there in Toronto, we have quite a large and expansive portfolio in Ontario. We've been around for over 35 years. We do boutique buildings to, mid-rise condos to incredible spaces like the Ritz-Carlton, Peter Adelaide, 2050 Lawrence. We've really put our mark in Toronto, and Greywood wanted to diversify our portfolio. So Calgary was a no-brainer. We decided to expand to Alberta, and this is, one of 3 projects that we do have. The Theodore, like I mentioned previously, is and will be a landmark address. We are at over 40% sold with our possession date looking at Q4 of 2022 or Q1 of 2023. And there are many perks to purchasing in Alberta opposed to Ontario. We take only a 5% deposit with a bond deposit. And what a bond deposit is it's done through Travelers, which is what our 10-year warranty program is with. So for a one-time fee, depending on what the deposit is, maybe 800 to 1,000 bucks, they will defer that second 5% deposit for you. So you only have to give us 5% and then no other payments until you take possession and at closing. We also don't have land transfer tax. We don't have development charges or the interim occupancy charges. Your closing costs are, approximately only 2,000 bucks. I know it sounds too good to be true, but honestly, 2,000 bucks and that's about it. Then we are also a boutique building, which makes us also very special. We have everything ranging from junior 1 bedrooms all the way up to 3 bedrooms, with 70% of our suites being under 750,000 and 40 under 400,000. And we have everything from the city downtown views to also park views and character homes and big old trees. So really have a little bit of something for everyone. We also do high-end finishes. There's no hidden costs. Everything is included. You get quartz countertops throughout your home. You get black fixtures, chrome top-of-the-line appliances, soft closing, Italian imported cabinetry. You get a gas stove range. You also get a gas line to your barbecue. So I know that there are a lot of condos in Ontario that don't allow barbecues. We absolutely do, even to the fact that we put in a gas line to make your life that much easier.
Okay, so very quick question. When we talk about closing costs, so does this include lawyer fee also, or?
It does. Your legal fees are generally only about 1,000 bucks. And then there's a few other just slight adjustments and just like a title transfer. Still, yeah, bringing you in at most maybe around 2,000.
Okay, nice to know.
Yeah, yeah. Oops, sorry there. And so this is just giving another rendering of, what will look like. The one corner of the theater will be zoned for a cafe or restaurant, where the rest will be general zoning. We are at the entrance of Kensington, so it has this beautiful presence as you come through. This here is a rendering of what kind of a general kitchen. Of course, each plan's a bit different, but you can see here the LPV flooring. There will be no carpet anywhere in your suite, which is a dream if you're renting, because then you don't have to worry about shampooing, cleanliness. It's extremely durable, waterproof, scratch proof. And you can see here just how light and bright it is. You do get a few palettes to choose from, and you do get to customize your finishes. So here, like touching base on what we talked about a few minutes ago, how Calgary is so affordable. With our 5% deposits, we have positive cash flowing properties, and the zero development charges, land transfer tax, low closing costs, and we give you a quality product from a very reputable builder, one that you can trust. Oops, pardon me. Sorry, there we go. So Calgary, as many of you know, oil and gas hasn't really been our bread and butter for, at least 5-6 years now. So we've been doing a pretty good job on diversifying our labor force. And you can see here, the oil and gas is a pretty small pie compared to everything else. We're really branching out into health services, to the technological sector, lots of jobs. Sorry, I think we had some technical difficulties. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's fine. Actually, there was some problem. Now it's absolutely fine. You can carry on. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Calgary, our rental market.
Okay, sorry, I will interrupt. So there are some people are asking questions. So whatever questions you have, guys, you could just write it down in the chat box. In the last, once we finish the presentation, most of the question would be addressed. If not, then she would take all these questions. Okay, you can carry on.
Okay. So Calgary market, we really are starting, the rental market is continuing to rise. CMHC is making it a bit harder on new buyers. So that also increasing the demand for rentals. The vacancy rates have dropped from 3.9 to 3.4 in 2019, and we think that will continue to drop. You'll see here in our Calgary column here that the condominium vacancy rate is at 0.9. So there is a big demand. And like I said earlier, is that Kensington is this very nice nook of the community. So it has a low vacancy rate. As soon as something becomes available, it's snatched up. And the housing affordability in Calgary, we only require generally what RBC, only 40% of our income needs to go to our housing, where Toronto it's 66% and Vancouver is as high as 84% of your income just to cover your housing costs. And Calgary sits at a nice 40%. And so our 2 pipelines have been approved, which will be a great positive for Alberta, bringing in thousands of jobs and helping to improve our economy. The construction is underway, so only, positive, more money to come into Alberta. And as I mentioned, so Kensington, Beltline, and Bridgeland are 3 major kind of outside of the downtown core communities that are in high demand, but Kensington ticks all the boxes. We have the direct LRT access, we have Riley Park and the river right at your doorstep, as well as tons of grocery stores, and we have a really high walking score. You can walk pretty much anywhere within the downtown Beltline area from Kensington. And this kind of expands into that, from all the trendy shops to all these wonderful coffee shops to choose from, to fitness studios, yoga studios. You have your pick of the litter, absolutely. We also are just 1, 2, 3 stops away from 2 major universities, SAIT being a trade university, and then of course the University of Calgary. So renting to a university student would be very easy, as well as the downtown core only being 1 stop away, downtown professionals as well. Oh, I'm sorry, little trigger happy here. Let me just get back to where I was. Okay, so I picked a couple of our hot picks, favorite floor plans that we have right now. So one being our C2. It's a 1-bedroom and den, and we actually only have 1 left. It's got a nice big balcony at about 125 square feet. And this, as you can see, has a very positive cash flow. You're getting a cash flow of over $4,500 a year, which is, fantastic. You're not just breaking even, but you're also coming ahead. This one is a fantastic plan. So the D2A, the flex, is large enough to be used as a 2nd bedroom. You can fit a queen size bed in there. So you could market it as a 2-bed, 1-bath, or, like a lot of people nowadays are working from home. So it could very easily be a nice oversized office. And as you can see here, it's also a very large patio. 200 square feet of outdoor living that you get with this suite. And so tons of natural light. This is West Street. So you get all the sun. And again, over
But share
$100 cash flow. And so, like I mentioned, with the rent on the rise, we are looking at probably, I mean, even our 2019 estimations, and now I think with COVID and everything going on, I think the rental market will continue to improve, bringing our rental price per square foot up. And we're looking at least a $3 per square foot by possession of 2022. And so this kind of breaks down between a 1-bed, a 1 and done, and a 2-bed. This is with a 20% down payment. This is with the incredible mortgage rate of 1.99 that you should definitely be taking advantage of, record low mortgage rates. And you'll see here with your, total monthly costs, and down to the bottom here, you'll see your rate of investment, ranging anywhere from 3.7 up to 6.1, which is, a fantastic return that you would pretty much see as soon as you took possession. So we also compared Calgary to Toronto. So as you can see here, just with a 650 square foot 1 and done in Toronto that you're paying, close to $800,000 for, you're paying, less than half for that in Calgary, and you're making almost double the surplus. With you in the negative of 5,000 in Toronto, you'd be up 5,000 in Calgary, which is basically a $10,000 return. And then this brings us to our great incentive. So we are offering only until October 15th, we are offering a 3-year rental program. And so what a rental program is we hire a property management company. They will find you a tenant, do all the screening, and then they will manage your property for you for 3 years. And we will cover those costs. At the end of those 3 years, if you go, this is great, I just see the mortgage payments come into my bank, I don't have to worry about it, you're welcome to carry on with that company. You can find another one, or you can cancel it altogether. There's no ties to the rental program. Or you're welcome to take the cash back at closing. So you can take cash value if you prefer. And I think that wraps it up. So I hope I've managed to touch base on a lot of questions, and I'm open to any questions or comments that anybody has.
Okay, so there are a couple of questions, and which I would like to discuss with people I have shared in the chat books. And if somebody has any question, you could just raise your hand. So I would unmute you, and you guys could take your question directly with her. So before I move that, so first question, somebody has asked, what is bond deposit? Can you explain it more? How this bond deposit work?
Sure. So what a bond deposit is it's like an application, almost like a pre-approval that's done through Travelers. And if approved, and they can generally get it back within a week, you'll know of your approval, they will defer your second 5% deposit. So here in Calgary, we require 10%, generally within about 6-7 months. 5% within 10 days of purchase, and then you have 200 days of the other 5%. And so what a bond deposit is they will defer that second 5% until closing. So you give us 5% and then nothing until you take possession. And then of course, if you put down the other 15 with your bank, however much you choose to put down, but then you're only having to give us 5%.
So is there any cost for that? How it work?
So it's a one-time fee. It's no interest. There's the application fee of about, that's $100, and then it's a percentage of. Let me grab. So how it works is it's generally a one-time fee of about 3.5% of what your deposit is. So say your second deposit was for 20 grand. That's what your second 5% deposit was. You would only have to give Travelers $800 once, no interest, and they defer that second deposit for you.
Okay. So, okay, good to know. This is a new thing actually, we don't see in GTA market here.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, I hear you don't have that in Ontario. So it's fantastic if, for first-time buyers who need more money to save their deposit, or investors who their money makes more money in their own portfolios than wanting to give it to us. So it's only 5%, which makes it life easier.
Okay, so Mr. Ajaj Hassan want to ask a question. So Ajaj, you can unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Yeah, hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, so thank you very much for this presentation. My question is basically about the cash flow information I just saw. So in one of the slides for one of the one-bedroom units, monthly rental, estimated monthly rental was around 1,975 or something. But the total, I mean, annual cash flow was around 4,500. So I'm not sure how this works. I mean, if in a month the rental is around 1,900, I mean, for annual it should be more, right? So what bridges that? If you could explain, please.
I'm sorry, I'm a bit confused. What's the question? Just kind of the breakdown of how we got to the number of that surplus?
Yeah, I just want to understand what is, I mean, so the monthly estimated rental was around $1,900, right?
For a one-bedroom in, correct?
Yes, yes. And the last item said the total annual cash flow was around 4,500.
So I got his question. So
that?
basically, yeah, I got his question. So what he's asking, like the monthly rental was like 1,900, your mortgage was 1,600, so it was almost at par. How come the annual cash flow is so high? So I can maybe I can give you the answer. So basically, when we talk about the cash flow, so when you pay the mortgage, you pay principal and interest. So principal part is also there. So when you calculate like whatever you're making, so you are anyway paying the principal, which is going toward the equity. So can you just zoom in this, like maybe just zoom in the screen so he could see, like others could see it. So sir, did you get the answer? Like it is basically principal plus interest actually. So when we talk about cash
flow, you mean
to
say, okay. So I get it. You mean to say if I am to mortgage this flat, right? What if I want to buy in cash?
In that case, okay. So this right now the surplus is 235 only, which is actually, see the monthly. If you see the slide, so total monthly cost rent is 1,600. Just see this. Can you see this? And mortgage is 948. Assuming 80% finance and 20% down payment. This is the mortgage and this condo maintenance fee. And after reducing everything, you're still making. Can you go down a bit? You're still making 235. So this is a positive cash flow. But when you pay this 948, so in 948 you are paying some principal and some interest. How is 50-50? So you are making that amount also. So this 4% is surplus cash flow you have. But if you go for the real cash flow, it will be even more. And now your question is, if you don't go for mortgage, then of course, whatever rent you are getting, so you could divide the rent and condo management fees and other thing, and you divide by the total fee and you get that number. So that would be, of course, more than that. This 4% come when you pay the full mortgage. So when you don't pay the mortgage, then of course it will be more than the amount you are saying. You understand?
Oh yeah, thank you very much. One more question. I'm sorry. So as per the slides, the position would be given in Q4 of 2022 or Q1 of 23. Yeah. What if the project gets delayed due to any circumstances? Is there any damages liability, or I mean, would there be some clause? I mean, just to compensate myself if I get late possession?
Yeah.
So we are underway. We are started demolition. Permits are all in place. We are getting built. But I mean, the world continues to throw curveballs at us. So if something were to happen for whatever reason we didn't get built, you would get your money back. All your money is held by our lawyer in trust. And we will have an outside date. So if we reach that date and your building's, Theodore still not built, all your money gets returned to you with, no penalty.
The other question could be if the building get complete, but if it get complete late than the time you are saying. So in that case, are we giving any compensation for that? Suppose it get delayed by 1 year or 2 years and you just complete it. So the buyer is not getting money back, but it is completed late than the time we estimated. So
are you saying if our possession goes into,
maybe late, 1 year or two. So do we have any penalty clause for delayed possession? This is what I think he want to ask.
No, we don't. We have an outside date, but no, like you're saying, like if we get pushed back another 6 months, will our buyers be compensated?
Yeah.
No, they will not. But we don't have any occupancy, so you don't pay until you take title.
So basically, they have choice to get their money back if they get delays. But to be very frank, just to give you an answer to the question to the buyers, see, they are getting only 5%, and 5% is anyway going to a trust account, and rest money they are getting from bank or wherever, and they are paying good amount of interest on that. So normally for this kind of deposit structure, you didn't see this kind of delay happening, because if the delay happens, then builder is at the receiving end. So I think that should be, or maybe one more thing. We always have 10 days time to review all the paperwork, cooling period. So I guess there should be cooling period of 10 days like we have in GTA. So you could get this reviewed, and in agreement and sale or purchase, you have all these clauses. And normally I see there are some kind of, outside dates, and there are some dates there. So you could always see, and there are written like what would happen if this is not completed on time. Okay, so there are a couple of more questions. First I will read, then I will take the live questions. So one question is about property tax. So somebody is asking about what is the property tax there.
Sorry, what is the which?
Property tax, like we have.
So property tax in Calgary is 0.0006 times the purchase price.
Okay, so it's less than 1% per year.
Pardon me?
So it's less than 1 year per year, like around 0.6% per year.
0.0006 times per year. So let's say. I don't have my calculator.
In percentage, it should be 0.6 if I calculate it right. So okay, so it give the answer. So most, so 0.6%. So 0.006 become 0.6%. Okay, so one more question: is it the first project by this builder, and is the first project by this builder in Calgary? So can you give some background of builder?
We have a ton of projects in Toronto. Like I mentioned, 250 Lawrence, to the Ritz-Carlton, Peter and Adelaide. We just launched Jack. We have 35 years of experience in Toronto. This is our second of 3 projects in Calgary. Our first project is in Fish Creek, which we bought over a golf course, and we built low-rise and townhomes. So you Google that, Fish Creek Exchange, and you can see more of what we've done. And then we have bought over land in the downtown core called Eau Claire. And we are planning on starting sales for that next spring.
Okay, and somebody has another question. First, let me read for you. How many parking spot per condo? So I think that's 1.
So we have made parking a la carte because Kensington has the LRT and is such a walkable neighborhood. So parking is 40,000 titled to you. And there is just slightly under enough for each buyer. So it is the first come, first serve. There is not one assigned to each unit. But we have had some first time buyers and investors who have not taken parking. So
it's optional thing.
Pardon me?
So it's optional, whether you buy parking or not, it's optional.
Optional, absolutely.
Okay.
And then we also, storage unit is also titled to you, and it's 8,500.
So there's another question about condo fee. So I think which you have already explained, what is the maintenance of condo fee?
Condo fees are 46 cents a square foot, and it'll cover all utilities except for electricity and internet. So heat, AC, water, gas, outdoor maintenance, nighttime security, that's all covered.
So that's quite good. In 46 cents, you're covering everything. That's quite good actually.
Yeah, it's covering everything. And because Kensington is so packed with amenities, we made the Theodore a low amenity building. There will be a rooftop terrace because we are the tallest structure. We absolutely want to take advantage. So we'll have unobstructed, spectacular views of downtown. Barbecue, fireplace, and there'll be a bike room, bike storage, as well as a parcel room. And then the nighttime security and all your utilities.
Okay, so Andy, I'm taking your question, so I will take it once all I finish. Then I have seen your hand is raised, so I will take it more. Okay, so another question what people have is, will it work for NRI like foreign buyers? So how it work for the international buyer? We have a couple of international buyers also in this meeting. So how it will work with the deposit structure would change? How it will work for them?
Correct. For international buyers, we require a 20% deposit.
Okay, so they cannot get this bond and other benefits.
If they have a Canadian address and a Canadian bank account, that's a bit more flexible. But if they are international, coming from an international bank, then no.
Yeah, there are a couple of people who don't have PR or citizenship, but they have work permit or they are students or they have. So yeah, so that might be possible in some cases. They might have bank accounts or they might have Canadian address. So okay, so that addresses the question. If someone has currently participated in this program with another program, can they still qualify? Okay, so what they are asking is somebody has participated in a similar program with some other builder. So can they still participate with you with this bond program, or you could take it only once, this bond?
Bond? Oh, no. You can have as many bonds as you like. You can buy 3 units and use a bond deposit for all 3 of them.
Okay. So another question, would you send us the presentation? Yes, we would send you after this meeting get over. So we will definitely send you all this presentation, and you could ask us any questions you already are. So you have our email. I will share with your email IDs and other stuff where you could ask more details. Please send the detail with Excel to email. So we would try to send this presentation so you could do all this stuff. No need to give email ID. We have email ID for each and every of you. So don't worry. So we'll send all the details. Okay. So now if there's any other question, if you want to type it down, you could type, or I will take Andy for timing because he has put all this question and now he has raised his hand. So he want to have, I think, more questions. So let me discuss. Andy, you could unmute yourself and you could ask a question.
Hey Andrea, so the question I have for you guys, like, do you guys have any kind of a financial support you can provide, like a kind of a, we don't have to go to the bank. You guys can offer some kind of this stuff.
For closing?
Yes.
Okay.
So we can give you, for closing, I mean, we can give you mortgage broker names and our lawyer. But as far as doing the financing for you, you are responsible for getting your own financing and obtaining your own mortgage.
Basically, Andy's question is, in certain builders, they give 1 year, 2 year kind of low interest or some, I've seen like in GTA, we have a couple of options. So Andy, for this here is not possible. So they are giving you support for the down payment. You need to pay only 5%. Rest, actually, they are expecting that in closing. So
okay. So another follow-up questions, the 5% we need to give, like whenever you are signing the, okay, let's say I need one apartment, the 5% I can give you. The rest of the 15% do I have to give at the time of closing, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Well, you give that to your bank and your bank pays us, but yes.
Yeah. That's got it. So 5% in case, like, when this project is going to be finished, is it 2024 you say?
No, so we are estimated for Q4 of 2022 or Q1 of 2023.
Somebody has a question like on construction. So we already you have addressed like construction already been started. So we are expecting mostly 2.5 years at the most time.
So we have started construction, and we take about 2 years to build. We're concrete, so we do need that bit of extra time. So we're looking at about 2.5 years. Yeah.
So what will happen? Like, for example, my situation is good right now, but at the end of the 2.5 years, my situation got bad. Do I get the money back, that 5% what I'm investing now?
Sorry.
Okay, so Andy, let me try to answer. So basically, what happens? We have assignment clause, and there is another question by Pankaj. He's asking about assignment. So Andy, what happens in this case? You have assignment clause. So if you think that you are not in a position to close this deal, so you could always assign this agreement, and we could help you. Like, let me introduce myself also. So I am Ritesh. So I am part of Team Rhine, and we have a team of 15. I will tell about me and our team. So we're a team of 15 realtors, and we work mostly in pre-construction and assignment. So we help people to assign their properties also, because there are a lot of people who want to buy brand new property, but they want early possession. So for example, right now you're booking, but in 2020, end of 22, you find that you are not able to close it. Then you could assign it to somebody else, and we might get some premium. Like today you are buying at 300,000 and the market can go up to 400,000, let's assume. And so you could potentially make some good money also, but that's not a guarantee thing, because that's, some investment do to make this kind of money. That's called assignment. So your assignment clause actually is to get exit. Yeah. Andrea, you have anything to add on this?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, so investing in Calgary is different than investing in Toronto. I know in Vancouver and Toronto, people tend to reassign even before they take possession and make money. Calgary is a bit more of a longer term investment. Some people may want to, sell right away, but with us, with our reassignment, we do allow it, and we do have a small fee related to it. But generally, unless of course something happens, you can close, reassign it. It's a 2% admin fee if it's not an immediate family member. But otherwise, I encourage you to hang on to it for a few years because it'll just continue to build value. And like I demonstrated, you get a positive cash flow as well.
Basically, his question was if we feel like he's not in good situation, if job goes, anything happens, like what is the solution for that? So, and you said so we have 2% as assignment fee, or is a free assignment? What's that exactly?
It's 2% of the purchase price is the reassignment fee, 2%.
And what happens if you assign to somebody in your family, immediate family? Then in that case,
then you just need to cover the legal costs, which is generally about $1,000.
okay. So if I want to assign to my brother, my sister, anybody in my family, then I will need to pay only legal fees. I'm not paying any assignment fee.
Correct, but you do need permission from the developer in order to reassign.
Yeah. Okay. So what is the projected appreciation of the units? Which is very appreciation. They're asking for what could have price appreciation or we could expect in 3-4 years.
What kind of appreciation?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wish I had a crystal ball. I mean, if you're looking at it as a wholesale, like I said, Kensington holds its value and will continue to go up. I mean, we're probably expecting at least a 2 to 3% increase each year. With your rental, though, I mean, you're getting as high as 6% on a return. So I would hang on to it for a few years, see that money come in. And as the pipeline gets finished, as COVID releases, as everything, the economy just kind of balances itself out, that's when I would sell, and you would definitely make more of a.
Maybe I would like to add to your point. So Shubham, basically, for this kind of investment, see, this is kind of long-term investment, and you are actually making positive cash flow, which you can see in the screen. So you could always hold this kind of property where you're getting positive cash flow. Also, you're making some equity. Like after 4 years, you see that you have made some equity also. Whether the price increased by 5% a year and you make 30% from there, and then you make some equity also, because every month when you're paying the mortgage, your rent is paying half of your principal and half is your interest. So you're making money from there also. So other than price appreciation, definitely you're making every month, some positive cash flow, which will eventually add to the profit you make at the end. So and also it's very subjective questions. Every market is very different, and the way we see the immigration happening and other things happening. So because GTA is out of reach now. Like same unit in GTA you get in almost 700,000 or 800,000, and here you are getting almost the half price. So what people have choice. People are going more towards cities which are developing, and Calgary anyway is developing quite a lot, and you get at this price. So I think we should make money because the construction cost is now also going up every day. So definitely we would make some money for sure, but nobody could predict how much, because you never know how the market will behave in next 2, 3, 4 years. But let's hope for the best. And okay, so he's okay. Anybody has any more questions to ask? Or I think it was a good session. Actually, people asked a lot of questions, and I think that's even better, because instead of giving normal presentation, if people ask questions, that's always good. Andy, do you have any more question? I could see. Let me see. I think Andy has one question. So let me. Where is that? So you could unmute yourself, and if you have any question, you could ask.
Okay, I have 2 questions. One is like the 3 years rental about stuff. So you guys gonna help us to find out the rental? Tenant.
So we hire a property management company who do all the screening, find you the tenant, and then we'll manage your property for you for 3 years, and we cover that cost.
Okay, and the second follow-up question is like, if something like we are in GTA and we are investing in a Calgary, so all the maintenance and something, and some issue happen with the tenant, who gonna like mediator kind of stuff?
Sorry, if something happens with the tenant?
For the maintenance, let's say, for example, let's say a tenant call me at like 12 o'clock at midnight, says, okay, I have no water.
That's what the property management company does. You will not hear from.
So Andy, just to answer your question. So there are professional property management company who take care of everything. So even you need not to meet the tenant, they would do everything for you, and they even collect the rent, and they do all this kind of mediation. And just to give you an idea, Andy, we have a couple of such tie-up with a couple of companies in GT also, and we know they're very professional, and they basically charge some amount for that, but builder is paying that for you for 3 years. That's what
for 3 years. Okay.
Yes. So for 3 years, you're not paying anything to that service. Whatever rent you're getting in your pocket, and builder is paying everything for next 3 years. And after 3 years, if you like the service, you could pay them. And typically, this fees, just to give an idea, I don't know about Calgary. Typically, this fees is between 5 to 7%. Normally for a property management company. Am I right, Andrea? There also is the same.
Here in Calgary, the monthly cost is about 10 to 12% of whatever your monthly rent is. So they do try and get you the highest rent possible, because then that's how they make their money. So they take 10 to 12% a month. And like I said, we cover that cost, and you will never hear from your tenant. That's the great thing about a property
So
management.
basically, right, for next 3 years, you would be paying that percentage, and after that, if person want to continue the then you could pay. Yeah.
Those 3 years, we cover all the costs of the property management company. At the end of the 3 years, you're welcome to carry on with that company. You can use another company. You can have your cousin run it. You can run it. It's totally up to you. But for 3 years, we will have your property managed for you.
How soon they can find a tenant? I don't want to leave my condo open for 4 or 5 months.
Because again, that's how they make their money. So as soon as you take title and you have the keys, the property management company is certified, and they do all the screening, they do the background checks, and they find you a tenant for the highest rent possible.
And one more thing which I would like to point here, they have right to lease during occupancy. So it means you could rent your unit even before the closing date. So normally there is a difference between closing date and occupancy date. On occupancy date, builder hand over you the keys, and on closing you actually get the mortgage. So normally this difference could be, I'm not sure about Calgary, but this difference is normally between 4 to 6 months, maybe sometime less, sometime more, but typically that's the difference. So actually you get the keys before you close. So they have good time to, you might start getting rent even you close your unit. Am I right, Andrea, on that?
No. So we're different. We do not have that interim occupancy. You don't get keys until transfer of title and closing.
And so, you have said you could rent it on during occupancy. How's that? How did it work?
We don't have the interim occupancy. You cannot rent but that's part of why you don't have those fees. So when you take title, transfer title, that's when you get your keys and you start renting it that very same.
But the property management company get good time to, because they, even though you don't give them the keys, but at least you have time to, plan for the stuff, because when the closing date.
Absolutely. And your property management company can start the screening for your suite for sure. But no, you can't have a tenant renting that space until closing.
Okay, got it. Because I don't know, because here in some builders that's allowed actually. But anyways, but you have good 4 months time or 3 months time. Normally before closing date, they give you a date, and property management company start from that time. It's not like once you get handover, you give the contract, because they know you're gonna get the property management through them. So they start beforehand, or maybe within the first month or first few days you get a tenant, depending upon the market at that time.
Right, and you can always, with permission with the developer, whether you come and do a walkthrough, or you have property management come and take photos of your unit and can advertise it to start, say you're taking.
Also, would you like to tell, because this is a question of many people, like, is really people from GTA who are not living in Calgary, they have bought this project and they are getting benefit? Can you just tell? I think you just tell them how many people, like, do people from Toronto already have invested in the project, and what's their feedback?
Sorry, the question is how many people from Toronto have invested?
No. My question is, like, there are a couple of people who they have not asked now, but they asked me, does the people really from Toronto, they really invest in Calgary and they make some money? Do people really invest there from GTA?
We've had a lot of interest from investors. Absolutely. I mean, we have people that have international investors and Toronto and Vancouver, because like I've said throughout the presentation, is how affordable we are, not just price per square foot, but we don't have the land transfer tax or the vacancy tax and the interim occupancy fees and things like that. So people are really seeing the value in purchasing.
So there are people who are investing outside Calgary, like who are not in Alberta, Calgary, they are still investing there.
Yeah, no, we have a ton of investors that are coming from all over the place, not in Alberta. Most of our buyers in Alberta are first-time buyers or downsizers, because we do have the larger suite with the really beautiful large layouts, which downsizers love. But the smaller suites are out of Alberta investors.
Okay.
How many units you guys have right now? It's like 40% already sold, or like how many
So
units?
we're at about over 40%. So we've sold what, 52. So that would leave us with 12, so 15, 65 that we have
Okay.
left.
And the second question, do you have the list of the management company you're gonna send us so we can see the review of that management company?
So we've put in quotes to get to see what the most competitive rates we can get. So ones that we've gotten estimates from are New Leaf
Mm-hmm.
and Rancho.
Okay. And the other one is like you calculated the all the like income in based on 1.99% of the mortgage rate. It's right now, but who knows after 2.5 years it's gonna be mortgage rate will be, because it's everything is gonna jump back to 3 point and 5 point of rate.
Right. So depending, I mean, definitely do your due diligence with your mortgage brokers, because some of them will hold the rates for you. And those are the
Can we
ones.
lock it? We can hold for 2 years. We cannot, I guess.
We have some brokers that are that we found that have been able to hold for 2 years or get you a fixed rate. I mean, we recommend it to all of our buyers to at least reach out to 3 different major banks
Mm-hmm.
to see the best rate, who can hold it for you. It's quite remarkable how different each bank is. You think that it would be pretty, standard what everyone could offer you, but that's not the case. And some will hold rates for you.
And
Okay.
also they have considered 25-year amortization. So if you make it 30-year amortization, then things would be even different. Like mortgage payment would be less. So that also is an option thing. Like you could go for 30-year amortization also,
Yeah,
depending
this is
on.
5 with 20% down. This is just a general, spreadsheet. I mean, everybody's different. If you want to put more down, if you put less down and you're involving CMHC tax, or, rates you're getting, or, someone said, what if I pay cash? Then your surplus would be even better because you're not paying interest. You're not paying a mortgage. So everything's a little bit different. This graph is just kind of a general,
Yeah,
layout.
got it. And there's another question by Eric. So Eric, you could unmute yourself and you can ask your questions. Andy, are we good with all these questions?
Yes, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Eric, you can ask your question.
Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to clarify one point that was made about the rental guarantee. So just to make sure I understand correctly, the rental guarantee is actually a service provided by a property management company that helps you get your tenants rather than rent guaranteed. So in the event that there was, say, a few months where you couldn't get a tenant in there, that doesn't mean that they're going to cover the rent, correct? Or
You cut out a little bit, but what I understand, you're asking the difference between a rental guarantee and our rental program.
So
Yes.
let me just clarify, Eric. What he's saying is it's not a guarantee you're giving from first day. You are giving a surety that for whatever the rental property management company fees is, you're gonna take care. Yes, you is absolutely right. So basically, they are gonna deploy a rental management company, and so target of of course a rental management company is to get your tenant as soon as possible, because they also make money when they bring tenants. So yeah,
Correct.
definitely they cannot give you a guarantee like from which day the rent would start, but definitely they would try to make it as soon as possible. And these are professional companies, so we expect they start 3 months before even this is what we're discussing. So you anyway they know the closing date of each and every unit, so they would start their working beforehand. Even you close the unit. So hopefully when you close it, we should get a rental our tenants very 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 soon actually, because we are planning, we are ahead.
The thing is, I think our rental program is actually more beneficial than a rental guarantee, because rental guarantee, they'll give you minimum rent. Like, so say it's 1,400, where with us, the property management company wants to get as much as possible. So they might get you as high as 21, 22, 2,300 a month. And like we said, your possession date, and you go, Kate, I want a renter for February 1st. And then of course, right away they go at it to get you that highest rent. They do the screening, and because Kensington isn't super saturated with new builds, there's only one other project. And we had someone come in the other day that they kept having to raise the rent because there were so many inquiries for people wanting to rent their space. The demand in Kensington is insane. I really, honestly, you'll have no issue renting it, and you'll get one of the highest rents in the city here in Kensington. And that property management from the get-go will work to get you a tenant that will pay the highest rent possible.
Thank you. That answers my question.
Perfect.
Thank you. Okay, so we had good, session, I think, with the questions. So if any, okay, last question, I think. Any appliances, are you offering any appliances with this? I think you, so you just want to know what.
Of course, you get the 5 appliance package. So you get the gas range, you'll get a gas line to your barbecue. You get the French door stainless steel fridge. You get the huge 7.5 cubic front loading washer and dryer, as well as the Panasonic microwave. So it's a full 5-piece appliance package.
So after this meeting is over, so people who have attended, I would send them all the details and all presentation and all this features. So before we close, I just want to share. Can I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Just to tell people. Okay, so guys, so today we discuss about this project. So basically, as you know, us, we are a team of 15 realtors, and we work very closely with builders. And so this is our portal where you can find all the pre-construction properties in Ontario and all around Canada. And then we have another portal where you could find a lot of other things like business, commercial. We do business, we do commercial, we do residential, and we also do development projects. So so you're already in touch with some of the people in our team, so they would follow up with you for this meeting after this get over. And definitely and these are the WhatsApp group. If you want to join, you could join, and we will definitely try to give you whatever your questions are left, and we'll try to give you the best possible service. And Andrea, I would, once we get the response, then we will come for you for the inventory availability, and I could share with the people. And definitely we will try to see how many of us are interested, and we would expect a good support from your side so that you give us best possible inventory, and people make some good money and they refer us more.
Absolutely, and I'm here. I mean, we're here. Questions, email us, call us, text us. We are here to answer any questions, alleviate any stress that we can. Reach out. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah, and for that matter, I would like to share maybe in chat box. I would just share if you have any questions, so you could always shoot that question to us. Where's that? So our info@ryan.ca. If you have anything, you can ask us, but our people will definitely get in touch with you after this meeting, and we'll try to take it forward. Okay, Andrea, thank you very much for your time and giving.
And I hope to hear from all of you.
Sure. Thank you very much, and have a nice time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.